Good morning, Kitchen Witches. Today is Friday, May 29th, and this is your tarot and menu inspiration for the day. I'm Chef Lisa, editor-in-chief of A Chef's Grimoire magazine, and menu planning with the tarot is easy if you know how. The magazine goes into detail, as well as videos that I make, like this one, and there's also shorts on YouTube and long-winded videos on YouTube. So you have a plethora of choices for finding how to menu plan with the tarot through A Chef's Grimoire. So to get started for today, if you're tuning in for the first time, thank you. This is a new series and it's a daily card pull that also talks about how to menu plan for the day. So you're never stuck in the car at 4 o'clock saying, what's for dinner? That's the worst. So let's get over that and make it easy. We're gonna pull a card anyway for the day, right? To read our inspiration of what's going on, what we should expect. So why not have that do double duty and also tell us what's for dinner? So we're also going to do breakfast and lunch. Why not? Okay. So we've shuffled. The card for today, which is Friday, the 29th of May, is... All right. The 9. The 9 of staves. The 9 of wands. This is a minor arcana. And I do mention in these tutorial-esque videos is if you're a novice to the tarot, a good way to read these cards is first of all to know the difference between the major arcana and the minor arcana. These are minor arcanas. And this is wands. There's 4 suits in the tarot, and this is one of them, wands, which is all about passion and fire. We've actually had quite a few wands cards this week, so we're getting the fire under our bellies for hunger, to find out that, to seek that great meal that just satiates us, but also fire under our thoughts, so that they start to come into fruition. They start to manifest into something. And that's what wands are all about, right? Think of a magician's wand, right? It's the spark that starts the seeds to grow. So that's what wands are. Now, 9s in the minor arcana, all the minors are ruled by a major. So the 9s are the hermit. And then we can look deeply, and that the hermit is a major arcana. So that's kind of what rules the 4 9s in the minor arcana. That major rules those 4 minors. So when we're talking about the 9 of staves, know that we have a little bit of the hermit energy in there. And you actually can tell with this card because this individual is in a waiting period, right? They're kind of waiting for something to happen. Now, a long story short, you can also tell that they've been through something. They've been through something pretty potent, right? Maybe a battle. And now they're waiting in that rest period before the battle starts again that next day. Maybe they've taken their time to build all these staves so that they're setting themselves up for success in winning the battle. But they're at the point where they're waiting for the bugle call to start again. So it's something that you're building towards, right? This is the inspiration for the day. You're building towards something. Maybe it's all in your head right now. And you're saying, you know what? I hate my job. I hate my job. I hate my job. I really need a new job. And it's been on your mind for quite a while. And every time you go and do a task that's necessary for the job you're in, you're just pushing yourself to do it because it's just drudgery. Now is the time to do a change, but tied to that change, you know, you've worked really hard to get to where you are. The money is good, the benefits are good, but you just can't do it another day. So you're in an incubation period where you really want to move on. And yeah, so this is where this card comes in. So think about all those kinds of things. I mean, I just brought up a job as one of our examples, but there could be many. It could be, I use this a lot because I think I need to do it myself, but you want to clean out the garage, right? Every time you go into the garage, there are things scattered all around. There's not even a pathway to walk through. Never mind park a car there. So you know it's a task you need to do. Today's going to be a beautiful day in New York. It's going to be 70 degrees, beautiful, not too hot, not too cold, just almost short sleeve weather, if not for some. Yes, I'm wearing short sleeves today. So great time, if you have the time, to clean out the garage. Maybe you get off work early today and that's on your mind. Go home, beeline it. You know, have the dog with you, turn on some music, make it into a pleasant affair, but it's something that's on your mind, spark it into happening, right? And that's what this card is all about. So we're thinking about these things today. We're thinking about all the things that we want to start, but we're in a waiting period for some reason. Don't know why. Maybe it's a psychological reason. Maybe it's a monetary reason. Maybe it's a lack of time reason. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons. But let's put the reasons to bed and start to really think about and strategize how we're going to get that thing done, big or small. That's today. So now, how does this energy come into the kitchen? Well, I'm going to go to my trusty cheat sheet. I'm thinking we want to deal with resilience here, right? Because in order to manifest something, you need to really be resilient, right? You can't have things get in your way. So you got to completely hurdle all of those negative thoughts. Oh, I don't have time. Oh, it's too expensive. Oh, blah, blah, blah. But you know you need to get it done. So be resilient. Put blinders on. And that's what we're talking about here. So I actually did, was it a video? No, it's what I'm planning right now. I'm planning the new magazine for July, in and around July 1st, it's going to be released. And it's the 3rd issue, or I'm calling them chapters. So it's actually the 2nd chapter because my first one was free. It was the Fool. I labeled it 0. So it doesn't count. I mean, it does majorly count, but it's 0. Now we're working into the numbers. So yes, this will be my 3rd release, but only the 2nd chapter. And it's going to be all about the magician, who is 100% resilient, right? But today we're doing a minor arcana. That is the 9s, not the 1s. And again, hermit energy. But hermits are resilient, right? Hermits know when to go into their shell, to find what makes them tick and what the next thing that they're ready to emerge from their shell, to come out to the public, to talk about, to birth, to make people aware of. So again, this is a waiting card. They're waiting, being resilient, manifesting, and now with the Wands energy, they're ready to put it out there. They're ready to do it. So we need energy to do this. I'm thinking for breakfast, we should do like a parfait. We'll do yogurt. Yogurt is quite resilient and it's great for our probiotics in our belly. So we have some plain yogurt. We can dress it with a little honey or maple syrup, which again is a resilient food, right? constant supply. The maple syrup takes a little bit more man-made energy to make, but honey, readily available, right? The bees are going to continue to work and be on the job and resilient every day and making you honey to sweeten your yogurt. So there you go, yogurt with honey. You're going to put some fresh berries on there. We've got strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, whatever berry you like on top. Little dark chocolate pieces are always nice. And then you're going to top it with a little flax and or chia and or hemp seeds, or any of the above, of course, combination, great. That's the resilient part, are those seeds. Because they, if the world just stopped today, those plants would still be growing, right? Your flax seeds, your hemp seeds, your chia seeds. They just are super, super resilient and packed with nutrients that are good for us. So that's when we talk about real resilience in a food and working it into your meals in the kitchen. Something that we know in really dire situations, those foods are still dependable. Next up, lunch. Well, I'm thinking beans, right? Or legumes. So chickpeas are one of my favorite because they're soft and they're creamy. Not unlike a white bean, like a cannellini or a navy bean. But chickpeas just have something extra that I kind of like. Now, if you want to do them from scratch, a resilient food, you buy them in a bag, dried. And then you bring them home. You have to have forethought for this one, which our 9 of Wands does, because while they're waiting, they're working themselves for success. So you can also do this in the kitchen. Take some dried chickpeas and soak them. So easy peasy. Just get a mason jar or something that's like this tall that has a lid. And you put your dried chickpeas in. If you're going to use a pound, it'll probably take up about that much of a jar. And then you're going to top it off with water. Room temperature water, fine. You don't want it hot, you don't want it cold. Room temp, fine. And tap, fine. And then, it should be filtered, but it's okay. And then you're going to pop it in your fridge overnight, right? And you're going to what's called soak the beans. And that's going to start to get all of its covering softened so that the nutrients inside the bean can start to come out, right? And then you're going to drain them, pop them in your crock pot on high and you're going to add some water, of course. And you're going to do that for like 3.5, 4 hours. So it's a 2-day process, right? The first day, you're soaking them, and it's an overnight soak, 12 hours. And then you're going to put them in your crock pot for 4 hours. That's dried. Now, if you don't have time for that, or you don't have the forethought for that, or you're just watching this video this morning and you want to make chickpea salad for lunch, then you're going to open a can. Yeah, you can do that. Open a can of chickpeas. Drain them, rinse them, put them in a bowl. We're going to make a curried chickpea salad. So you're going to take mayonnaise, you're going to take curry powder. And ratio is up to you as long as it tastes good. And you're just going to make like a creamy mayonnaise, yeah, with the curry powder, a little sea salt for beautifulness. And then you're going to mix that in with the chickpeas and throw in anything else you wish. I like a little bit of organic celery in mine. I like some raisins in mine for a little sweetness. You could add a shallot, which is going to give you an oniony punch. You can add carrots. Why not? Either chopped real fine or shaved, however you want them to present in your salad. Fantastic. What else? What else can you throw in there? You can even put, if you want, some meat in there or fish, right? on the top if you want the protein, more so than what's in the chickpeas. But build that salad. And if you want to add it onto salad greens, nice. Otherwise, I just eat it with a cracker and I'm good. So lunch, done. All right. So we got breakfast, we've got lunch. What is for dinner? Let's see. Aha. So springtime, it's May. Vegetables are starting to come into season, right? We, of course, have our leafy greens that are abundant right now. But there's also many other vegetables. There's rhubarb coming out, which is really interesting. And rhubarb has a tang to it, so you can put it into not only sweet things, which most people use it for, but savory things. So why not put it into like a vegetable tagine? That would be really nice for dinner. A tagine is a Middle Eastern stew. So think of it like a stew. Usually it's made in these earthenware bowls that have these triangular lids. And the triangular lid helps the condensation build to the top and then flow back down. Build to the top and then flow back down. So what you're cooking is braising, but in its own liquids. And a tagine can go on your stovetop or it can go into an oven. Now, if you don't have one, then you can just use a cast iron brazier, also known as a Dutch oven. Yeah, cast iron, because it's super heavy, and we'll do that same thing. We'll have the condensation flow around your foods to help braise it in its own liquid. Or you could just use a really nice heavy bottomed pot with a really nice tight lid. Yes, I mean, that works too. But a vegetable tagine. So I'm thinking also add those preserved lemons because it's a resilient food. It's been preserved. And you can buy them in a jar, right? You don't have to make them yourself. If you want to, fantastic. But it's a journey to make preserved lemon. It takes a few months, I think, something like that. It's long. Easy enough to do. It's just salt, lemons, and really a little liquid, and you're good to go. And then you just leave it and it soaks for months. So the vegetable tagine, you can look one up online. Make sure it has preserved lemons in it because that really gives a gorgeous, authentic flavor to the stew. But from there, you could throw in anything you want. You could throw in more beans if you want to do a bean day. Throw in some white beans, or just make it all with vegetables. And vegetables, sky's the limit. We also have the nightshades coming into the market. So you've got summer squash, you've got zucchini, eggplant, tomatoes, right? So throw in anything you have either laying around in your fridge, or go to a really nice market. Fridays, there might be a farmer's market happening right now. So peruse, see what they've got. Throw that into your tagine. And we're going to serve that with quinoa, another resilient food. Quinoa, the seed, can grow in any soil condition and with not a lot of water. So those are hard time nourishing foods we want to seek out in resilient times. That's it. That's the reading for today's card. It gives us a full belly for the day in a plethora of gorgeousness, and also what to look out for and how to spark that seed to grow. I hope you enjoyed this. As always, nourish yourself and nourish those you love with your kitchen magic. And I'll see you tomorrow.